Hi there. Some months ago I put out a video encouraging every homeowner to meet with their insurance company to find out how much replacement cost was in your policy in the case of a disaster such as a wildfire, and if your house was lost, would your policy cover the replacement cost, today's replacement cost of your existing home? Today I'm here to tell you about a much more critical issue that is now, as of Monday of this week, in full-on crisis, in my opinion, and I don't think I'm overstating it. So what happened on Monday is that State Farm informed its local offices of new limitations on their ability to write policies for homes in the Denver Foothills. Evergreen, conifer, Bailey, pine, those type places. It had been getting more and more critical, more and more difficult to find standard carriers who are still writing policies for new purchases. Now, you may be a homeowner that has been here 20 or 30 years and you've been paying the same company and there's no issue for you, but if you go to sell your home, your current insurance carrier may no longer write in the Foothills. They may no longer even write in the state of Colorado. And what happened was we had kind of winnowed the companies and the standard providers down into, well, it was kind of just State Farm mainly, and a couple of others on occasion who could even write policies for Foothills purchases. And the situation was getting more and more dire. Now, as of Monday, there are now properties that State Farm, which was kind of our last, general hope for securing insurance for buyers, that option is now gone. This is not a matter of geographic wildfire, neighborhood redlining, and it's not specific to certain areas. So there aren't neighborhoods that are necessarily outside of State Farm's zone. It's more about State Farm wanting to limit their exposure in certain neighborhoods. So if they've got several policies written within one neighborhood, they may not write in that neighborhood anymore, but the neighboring neighborhood might be okay. It's about their exposure and the distribution of risk more than it's about red line around certain neighborhoods or certain geographic areas in the Foothills that they're staying out of altogether. For example, after a conversation with a State Farm office here locally, Jennifer Gann, I sent her 2 addresses for upcoming listings that the McWilliams Group is in the process of onboarding. One of these properties was in rural Park County. One of these properties was in what we consider North Evergreen. One of the houses is insurance available. One of the houses, there is not the ability for State Farm to write. Now you might guess, well, the house that they said no to was in rural Park County, and the house that they said yes to was in North Evergreen. Surprise, no. The property that's in Park County is available for insurance by State Farm, and insurance is not available for the property in North Evergreen. So now I have to work with the seller on figuring out how we're going to suggest to a buyer that they find insurance to purchase this property. So I reached out to local representatives Cutter and Story, and I also reached out to our congressional representative Peterson. I'm partnering with local stakeholders in the insurance industry, in the mortgage industry, and in the real estate industry, and we'll be seeking meetings with our state representatives and even our congressional representative in trying to come up with some type of policy. If you're listening to the video and you have a relationship with Cutter, Story, or Peterson, please reach out. That would be very helpful. If you are a person in the real estate industry, in the mortgage industry, or in the insurance industry, and you'd like to be part of those conversations, please reach out. We really need to work this out, and this is very, very critically important. If you're someone who is thinking about putting your house on the market, we can pre-screen that for what is available for a buyer to obtain insurance. Do they have options? Do they only have one option? Will State Farm still write? Farmers, some of these other companies, will they write? That's something that we need to do as a part of the listing process now. I would say that if you're thinking of selling in a year or so, this problem may get worse before it gets better. I might encourage you to bring your home to the market maybe a little bit sooner than you might expect in order to avoid where this might go. All that being said, at the McWilliams Group, we feel like you can be safe and confident buying and selling real estate in this market with trusted advice and careful guidance. Please reach out and let's have a conversation. Thank you.